When people talk about the Nintendo Switch, everyone remembers a different game, that first adventure, that first laugh, that first race lost to a blue shell. But among thousands of titles, a few stand above the rest. They're the ones that define the console, the ones people think of instantly when they hear Switch. These aren't just bestsellers, they're the 10 games that captured what the Nintendo Switch truly means. When I think of the Nintendo Switch, this is always the first game that comes to mind. It wasn't just a launch title, it was a statement of intent. Breath of the Wild completely redefined what an open world game could be. From the moment I stepped out of the Shrine of Resurrection and saw the vast kingdom of Hyrule stretching before me, I knew this was something different. What made it special wasn't just its scale, but how alive everything felt. The way the grass swayed with the wind, how rain changed my strategy in battle, or how lightning punished me for holding metal weapons. Every little detail mattered. The game never told me what to do, it simply trusted me to explore, experiment, and create my own story. Sure, weapons breaking could be frustrating, but even that forced me to think differently. It wasn't about collecting stronger gear, it was about adapting. That's what freedom feels like. Breath of the Wild didn't just define the Nintendo Switch, it defined an era of gaming. And years later, I still can't find another experience that captures that same sense of wonder. If Breath of the Wild represented freedom, then Super Mario Odyssey represented joy. This game reminded me why I fell in love with video games in the first place. It's bright, colorful, full of surprises, and every level feels like it was designed just to make me smile. The capture mechanic changed everything. Throwing Cappy and suddenly turning into a frog, a tank, or even a giant T-Rex, it's pure creative madness. Each kingdom felt alive with its own culture, atmosphere, and rhythm. From the neon lights of New Donk City to the surreal colors of the Luncheon Kingdom, I constantly found myself saying, just one more moon. What I love most is that Odyssey never forces you to play a certain way. You can speed through, explore, or simply mess around. And somehow it always rewards curiosity. Playing it handheld on the Switch feels like carrying a pocket-sized theme park. Mario Odyssey isn't just a game, it's a celebration of imagination, and it shows how Nintendo still knows how to make you feel like a kid again. Sometimes a game doesn't need to be fast or loud to be unforgettable. For me, Animal Crossing New Horizons is proof of that. It arrived at a time when the world slowed down, and somehow it became exactly what people needed. I remember starting on my empty island with nothing but a tent and a few tools, and before long, it became a peaceful escape I could call home. There's no rush here, just small, meaningful routines. Planting trees, catching fish, decorating my house, visiting friends' islands. Every little action feels calming. The soundtrack is gentle, the visuals are soft, and the villagers slowly become friends you actually care about. It's not about winning, it's about being present. That's the magic of it. Even after hundreds of hours, I'd still log in just to watch the sunset or listen to the rain. Animal Crossing reminded me that sometimes the most iconic games aren't the ones that excite you, they're the ones that make you feel like you belong. There's a certain magic in how Mario Kart 8 Deluxe brings people together. No matter where I am or who I'm with, this game never fails to turn a quiet room into total chaos. One moment you're in first place, feeling unbeatable the next. A blue shell ruins your life right before the finish line. And somehow we all laugh anyway. That's the beauty of it. It's simple, fast, and unbelievably fun, even if someone has never touched a controller before they can pick it up in seconds. But for those who want to master it, the drifting item timing and track knowledge create a deep layer of skill. The tracks are bright and full of personality, the music pumps you up, and the animations just scream Nintendo energy. Playing online or locally with friends is pure joy, and sometimes pure betrayal. You say I'll never play with you again, and then you do it all over the next day. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe isn't just a racing game, it's a universal language of fun. It's the Switch at its most social and chaotic best. If Mario Kart is about laughter, then Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is about adrenaline. This game is pure spectacle, a massive crossover where every hero and villain from gaming history collides. Mario, Link, Pikachu, Cloud, Solid Snake, everyone's here. The first time I scrolled through that character roster, it felt like looking at the entire history of gaming on one screen. What I love about Smash is how easy it is to jump into, but how hard it is to truly master. You can button mash and still have a blast, or you can dive deep into combos, spacing, and mind games. Either way, the matches are wild items, flying platforms, moving people, shouting. Even losing feels epic, and yet despite all that chaos, it's the togetherness that defines it. 4 or 8 friends shouting at the same TV, all laughing and cheering, that's the spirit of the Switch. Smash Bros. Ultimate isn't just a fighting game, it's a celebration of gaming itself. It's Nintendo saying this is everyone's playground. When I first played Super Mario Bros., wonder I couldn't stop smiling. It's the perfect blend of nostalgia and surprise. On the surface, it looks like the classic 2D Mario we all grew up with, but the moment you touch a Wonder Flower, everything goes absolutely wild. Pipes start moving, enemies dance, and suddenly Mario turns into an elephant. I remember laughing out loud at how unpredictable it all was. Every level feels like a surprise box. One moment you're running through a sunny field, the next you're floating through space or being chased by singing piranha plants. The creativity here is unreal, and the animations, they're so alive. Mario's expression, his little gestures, even the way he slides into a wall, it all feels handcrafted with love. Playing in co-op makes it even better. You can help compete or just mess around. It's pure joy bottled into one experience. Super Mario Bros. Wonder reminded me why Mario has lasted for generations, because Nintendo never stops having fun with its own creations.
Hey, there's someone back there.
When I first stepped into the world of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, I felt something I hadn't felt in years: freedom. For the first time, I wasn't stuck following a strict path or waiting for random encounters in tall grass. I could just go. Wherever I saw a mountain, I could climb it. Wherever I saw a Pokémon, I could approach it. It was the kind of open world I used to dream about as a kid. Sure, the game isn't perfect. I noticed the frame drops, the pop-ins, the rough textures. But you know what? After a few hours, I stopped caring, because the sense of discovery is so strong. It's that feeling of catching your first wild Pokemon in the open, or stumbling upon a hidden area that no one told you existed. And the school theme, the 3 different story paths, they made me feel like my journey was uniquely mine. Sharing the map with friends in co-op sealed it. This was childhood nostalgia reborn. Scarlet and Violet might not be flawless, but it dared to evolve, and that's what made it unforgettable. I've always had a soft spot for Luigi, the awkward, nervous brother who somehow ends up saving the day. In Luigi's Mansion 3, he finally gets the spotlight he deserves. This time it's not a haunted house. It's an entire ghost-infested hotel, each floor with its own bizarre theme. One floor looks like a pirate ship, another like a movie studio, and every single one hides a secret. What makes this game so special is its charm. Luigi's frightened expressions, his little jumps, the way he hums nervously to the background music. It's hilarious and heartwarming all at once. The puzzles are clever, the visuals surprisingly detailed, and the ghost-busting gameplay feels smooth and satisfying. Then there's Gooigi, your slimy green double who can slip through grates and join in co-op. Playing with a friend changes the whole dynamic. Suddenly, it's not just spooky fun, it's teamwork, laughter, and problem-solving all at once. Luigi's Mansion 3 is the perfect mix of humor, creativity, and heart. It proves that even the sidekick can be a hero. When I first started Fire Emblem Three Houses, I thought it would just be another strategy RPG. But within the first hour, I realized it was something deeper. The game doesn't just give you soldiers to command, it gives you students to teach, relationships to build, and choices that actually matter. Every decision you make, every alliance you form, changes the story. Being a professor at the Officers Academy felt strangely personal. I wasn't just fighting battles, I was mentoring people, watching them grow, and sometimes losing them because of the choices I made. That emotional connection made every victory and defeat hit harder. The battles themselves are classic Fire Emblem turn-based tactical and brilliantly balanced. But it's the quiet moments between fights, the conversations, the friendships, the heartbreaks that make it special. Three Houses made me realize that strategy can be emotional and leadership can be lonely. It's not just about winning a war, it's about the people you fight it with. The first time I played Metroid Dread, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time: tension. Real gripping tension. Every hallway felt alive. Every sound made me hesitate before turning the next corner. Samus Aran, after years away, returned in full 2D glory, faster, sharper, and more powerful than ever. The controls are unbelievably smooth. Every jump, every shot, every dodge feels intentional. And the EMMI robots, they're terrifying. When they start hunting you, there's no background music, no warning, just the mechanical screech of death echoing through the corridors. You run, you panic, and when you finally escape, the adrenaline rush is unreal. But what impressed me most wasn't just the challenge. It was how Metroid Dread respected its roots while feeling completely modern. It's a love letter to classic players and a reminder that Nintendo can still craft an experience that tests your reflexes, your patience, and your courage. By the time I saw the credits roll, I realized this wasn't just another comeback. It was a masterclass in tension and design. When I look at all these games together, I see more than just a console library. I see a collection of emotions: curiosity, joy, peace, chaos, tension, and connection. Each of these titles represents a different piece of what makes the Nintendo Switch so special. It's not about raw power or graphics. It's about feeling, about discovering worlds that make you laugh, cry, and think. Whether you're exploring Hyrule racing through Rainbow Road or relaxing on your island in Animal Crossing, the Switch turns every experience into something personal. And maybe that's why these games stick with us. They aren't just games we play, they're moments we remember. So when someone asks me what defines the Nintendo Switch, I don't have to think twice. It's these 10 games, the ones that made us all fall in love with gaming again.